everybody. Let's do this. Here we go!
Hello, Musketeers! Welcome to Mondays with Mickey. My name is Mike Knigge, and I am your host. And this week, we're going to talk about the dining plans for Walt Disney World. Now, this is a subject I hear about constantly. People are asking me, hey, what is it? How does it work? Is it worth it? What tips and tricks might you have? So I figured I'd do it in video and go ahead and hopefully demystify this complicated subject that is the dining plans for Walt Disney World. I won't be discussing Disneyland simply because they have a whole different system. And, you could almost do a video on how to make the most of your Disneyland dining experience. So this week we're just going to focus on Walt Disney World. So without further ado, what is the dining plan? Well, essentially the way it works is when you book your Disney vacation for Walt Disney World, you choose what dining plan fits your family, cost-wise and all that. And you essentially are paying for your food up front at a sizable discount, to be honest with you. How you use the dining plan will determine whether it's really a value for you or not. Some people don't maximize the dining plan, in which that case, maybe it's not as good of a deal for those people in particular. But for those who like food and want to take their time to maximize the dining plan and getting the most out of it, then it becomes worth it. My family, for example, we have a tendency to book our trips during the time frame that they offer the free dining promotion. So for us, whatever we eat is a good deal for us. The only complication is we have to choose that time of year when kids are in school, and it makes things a little dicey. So how this works is the dining plan is broken up into three categories. You have your quick service category, your Disney dining plan category, and then your Disney's Deluxe dining plan category. All right. Each comes with their own perks and their own downsides. So we'll start off with the quick service. It is the cheapest of the tiers. The quick service includes 2 quick service meals and 2 snacks. What is a quick service? Well, quick service are your stands and your little kiosks that sell food. As opposed to going to a restaurant where you sit down and you're waited on by a waiter, these are the kind of things you go up and pick up your own food. There are some notable exceptions, obviously, like Be Our Guest, for example. During lunch, that restaurant turns into a quick service location. So, yes, you're sitting down in a restaurant. Yes, they're bringing your food out to you, but you're not having to tip anybody. So it's barely in the category of quick service. But in general, if it's like something like Cosmic Rays or something you go in, you order from a counter and you pick up your food, that generally falls under the category of quick service. So the quick service plan is the cheapest of the 3 plans, but you get 2 meals and 2 snacks out of it. What qualifies as a snack? Things like popcorn, candy, some drinks that you can get out and about. At Walt Disney World, if it qualifies for the dining plan, there'll be a little icon along with the price tag. It shows, it's like a purple square icon. It has, the D on it for Disney dining plan. So the snacks, they kind of fluctuate from year to year. Sometimes it used to be that the turkey leg was on the snack plan. But honestly, it's a lot of meat, and I think they pulled that off of the snack options. But things like ice creams, popcorn, fruit, bottles of water, drinks, and things like that generally fall into the snack category. As long as you're not getting like a signature drink or something that has a collectible cup or a collectible bucket or something like that, the snack covers it. So the next on the list is the Disney dining plan. Now this is the plan that my family and I use the most. It comes with one quick service, one table service, and two snacks. Now, why do we choose this? Well, we choose this because we like to have one really nice meal each day that we're there. Okay, and we like to have sit-down meals. So for us, we try to take advantage of that. Honestly, I'd love to have the next level up, but it's the most expensive. But for us, we typically use this plan. Things like character meals, like at Crystal Palace or Ohana, or Tusker House. Restaurants like this, they're one table service credit meals. So, we usually take advantage of the opportunity to use those to go to those single table service credit meals. We enjoy it. It really works out well for us. A lot of times we'll use the snacks for breakfast, and we'll use the quick service for lunch, and we'll use the table service for dinner. We always end up with a bunch of snacks at the end of the week, and we just kind of go in and buy a bunch of snacks before we drive home. So the Disney dining plan for us is probably our favorite. It's the middle of the road. It's not the most expensive, not the least, but it works. And finally, there's the Deluxe dining plan. Now, the Deluxe dining plan comes with 3 table service meals and 2 snacks. Now, you're probably going, 3 table service meals? Holy crap, am I going to go sit at a sit-down restaurant every single meal? Is that what I have to do? I mean, you'd be eating at a restaurant all day long. You wouldn't have time for the parks. Relax. This is where knowing what you have and utilizing what you have comes into play. Now, when I say it's 3 table service credits, a table service credit can always back down to a quick service restaurant, whereas a quick service credit can't go up to a table service. So if you want to use a table service credit at something like Cosmic Rays, or if you want to go to lunch at Be Our Guest, you're certainly welcome to do that. As far as Disney's concerned, those quick service restaurants cost less than table service restaurants, so they're like, fine, you want to waste it on that? Go for it. So that is an option. You don't have to sit there and go to every table service meal for every meal for 3 meals a day. But the perk to this plan is that there are restaurants out there that call for 2 table service credits. Restaurants like Le Cellier at Epcot, or Cinderella's Royal Table in Magic Kingdom. These restaurants require 2 table service credits. They're the most expensive restaurants on property, essentially. So if you have the Deluxe dining plan, losing an extra credit isn't such a big deal. Whereas like with us, when we do the Disney dining plan, if we choose to go to a 2 table service credit meal restaurant, we have to decide which day we are not going to have a sit-down restaurant, which is fine, or what day we're going to pay out of pocket to do this. So, you pick and choose your battles. As you go from quick service all the way up to Deluxe dining plan, the plans get more expensive. And depending on how many days you're staying there, that plays a role as to what the cost is going to be. So I couldn't tell you offhand what the price is going to be, because it does vary depending on how many days, how many people, and so forth. Now, with all the plans, you get a resort refillable mug. Basically, it's a cup that you can refill at your resort, as much as you want. They have an RF chip in it that knows how long you're going to be staying and how long the mug is supposed to work, and you'll be able to refill it up at their soda fountains or their coffee, tea, whatever. So all the plans come with that. Also, new for 2018, they are changing up the drink options. Now, it used to be that no alcohol, no specialty drinks were included on the dining plan. This was something that they wanted to upcharge, so it wasn't an option. They've changed that now. Now with every single meal, if you're an adult, you have access to alcoholic drinks like beer and cider, wine and sangria, a mixed drink, or a specialty cocktail. As long as it's not in a specialty cup, essentially, it qualifies. The kids, or even you, if you don't want alcohol, you have access to the standards: tea, soda, coffee, or pop if you're from the north. You have access to the basics: water, but you also have access now to things like milkshakes, smoothies, and hot chocolate. These are things that normally were extra charges, but now you can choose to have that as your drink with your meal. That is a new thing for 2018. I don't know if it's going to stick around forever, but it's a cool addition because occasionally I like to have a beer when I'm at Walt Disney World. For example, when I went to Beer Garden in Germany, that was something I wanted, a beer. When we went and we did Be Our Guest at night, my wife ordered a glass of wine because she felt that, it was fitting. It was an opportunity. She never really orders wine. She wanted to try it out. So there's those options. Now, like I was saying, tips and tricks for this stuff. Now that you have an idea of the different levels and how that works. Like I was saying earlier, the dining plan is very dependent. Its value is very dependent on you and how much you eat. Do you necessarily have to buy the most expensive thing on the menu? No. Eat what you want. That's what the point is. But, it's an opportunity for you to stretch out and try something new, try something different. Make use of these things. I would never waste a table service credit on a quick service meal. You're capable of doing it, and they have no problem with you doing it. But I wouldn't do it. It's a waste of money. You're just losing money. I would make sure that you are fully booking your table service restaurants. And that's where that comes in. A lot of people, they won't forget, but they will neglect to make reservations for the table service restaurants they want to eat at. Because they'll figure, we'll get reservations that day. It's not a big deal. Well, no, it is a big deal. 180 days out, you're able to start booking dining for your park. And this is where pre-planners, they shine. It's important when you're planning your trip and you're 180 days out and that mark hits, and they'll warn you, they'll remind you, hey, when you get to this date, you can start making dining reservations. Make them. It's important. This is key to making sure that your dining plan is maximized and you're getting the most value for your dollar. Nothing worse than saying, I'll just get a reservation. I'll be a walk-up when I go to the park. And you find out that they're booked to the brim and there's no way you can get in there. And you can't get in anywhere else. So you're forced to waste your table service credit on a quick service meal because you're starving and you need to eat something. Don't let that happen to you. Okay? Take advantage of it. They will tell you exactly what date you're able to start booking your dining reservations. Get on early and start booking. Reservations like Cinderella's Royal Table, Be Our Guest, they're very difficult to get sometimes. The Cellier, very difficult to get sometimes. So if these are restaurants you're wanting to eat at, get on early. I believe it's 6 a.m. Eastern time. You can start fiddling around with it on the day that your booking window opens, your reservation window opens. Get on there. Either get on the website, call Disney directly. Do whatever you got to do, but book those things early. Now, you're probably saying, well, that's a lot of stress. What am I supposed to do? Well, you got a couple options. 1, do it yourself. 2, you could go with a travel agent. It doesn't cost you money to use them. They're free. Disney pays them. But you book through them. They get you the same deals you can get on your own. And they will get these things booked for you. They will get up early in the morning and make it happen for you sometimes. That's one option. The other option, like I said, if you do it yourself and say you missed the window. Like with us. When the last trip we went, we wanted to Be Our Guest for dinner. Well, when I got on, I had issues getting on in the morning, and then I had to go to work. And by the time I got home from work, the days we were in Magic Kingdom, we planned to be in Magic Kingdom, there were no dinner reservations available. There were lunch reservations. And I got us a lunch reservation. And I was bummed because it's like, I really want to go in there for dinner. I wanted to meet the Beast because Beast is only available at dinner. So I was like, this bites. I mean, at least we'll get to go see the restaurant. That'd be kind of cool. And I just kind of resigned myself, okay, it's not an option. What I started doing then after that, though, was I realized, other people, even though they book these reservations, there is a cutoff. And if, say, they don't show up for the reservation, it costs them, they get charged a certain amount of money. So I was like, well, you know what? Let me check daily and see if anybody's canceling their trips or canceling their reservations. And, for the most part, nothing ever came available until you know what day your payoff date for this trip is. All right, Disney's going to tell you when you have to have this trip paid off by. All right. So other people who would be eating at that restaurant on the day you want will be there during the same time frame you are, which means their cutoff date is around the same time. And what happens to a lot of people is they will book their trips and make payments on it, thinking, I want to make a payment every other week or blah, blah, blah. And then life happens, and they can't afford to make payments, and they have to cancel their trip, or something happens. Well, they got to cancel their dining reservation, so they're going to get charged a fee. So what we did was the day after our cutoff hit, we checked again for those dates. And lo and behold, a dinner reservation was available. Funny enough, it was the same particular park day that we were going to eat there at lunch. We decided, you know what? Let's check out both experiences. So we had a Be Our Guest day really a Beauty and the Beast day. We did Gaston's Tavern in the morning. We did Be Our Guest for lunch and Be Our Guest for dinner. And then I think we closed out the day. We went over to Enchanted Tales with Belle and did that. So we did a whole Beauty and the Beast theme type of day, which was really fun. But my point is, don't give up. If you decide to do this on your own and you want to get these reservations yourself, don't give up on it. Keep checking back. You never know what might open up, particularly as you start getting closer and closer to the dates. I would not wait to start until closer to those dates, because then you're just asking for trouble. But try to get everything you want in, as far out as you can. And then if you don't get it, don't give up. Keep looking. You can always cancel a reservation for something else. It's not always easy to find a reservation. So keep working on it. That's my biggest tip. And again, don't think that you can walk into the parks and be a walk-up reservation. Those days have long since gone. With the advent of the computer and whatnot, where people are able to book in advance, it's not like the old days where you could just show up. So do yourself a favor, book in advance, and think about what's best for your family. If you're not wanting those specialty dining experiences, you just want fuel for the tank to keep hitting rides and just have fun while you're there, then go for the quick service plan. It'll save you money. Those quick service meals are usually pretty good size, and it works. It's fuel for the tank. The food's not amazing. It's quick service food. It's not amazing. There's some that are better than others, but it's fuel. It'll get you what you need, give you the energy you need to just pound out rides and character meet and greets and parades and things like that. But if you're like my family, where we want to have those specialty dinners, we want to expand our palates and expand our experience a little bit, particularly at places like Epcot, where you have restaurants from all over the world. Definitely look at dining plans like the Disney dining plan or the Deluxe dining plan. So that's the nitty-gritty bulk of these dining plans. They're not as complicated as people think they are. Do I feel that they are a good value? Well, I would say yes. For my family, yes. And I say yes because some of those, because we do eat at some of the table service restaurants. Some of those restaurants, it was like almost $100 a plate. And if I look back and I said, hey, well, if I had paid all this stuff out of pocket, it would have been a lot more expensive than paying the dining plan price. Even if I paid for the dining plan price, like I said earlier, I try to take advantage of that free dining promotion, which I'm not going into because that's its own ball of cats. But they don't it's not guaranteed. It's not always available. It won't necessarily always be available every year. It has been for a long time, but I guarantee you Disney's looking at ways to get rid of it because it does cost them money. So, but even if I had to pay for the dining plan, unless I'm bringing my own food into the parks, which you can do, by the way, you can bring your own food in the parks. But if you're staying on property, then you run into trouble of like, well, do I have a big enough refrigerator in the room, or how do I want to do that? But you can, especially if you're staying off property and you have a full size refrigerator, you can bring food with you into the parks. But that aside, if you're planning on eating in the parks, and it's particularly if you're going to be doing any sit down dining restaurants, the dining plan is well worth your money. Like I said, $100 a plate, it adds up fast. And there's 4 of us, so I mean, and that's just one meal. We were generally eating 2 meals a day, and then doing, if we were hungry in the morning, doing a snack. One thing we would do to save money is because muffins and things like that, you don't have to keep them refrigerated. We would bring muffins and stuff like that with us. We do bring muffins and stuff like that with us to have in the hotel room. So that way in the morning, if we want something quick to nibble on as we're heading to the parks, we grab something. Again, whole idea is to maximize the dining plan and get your money's worth. Definitely with your snacks, if you're like us, you're going to have snacks left over. Make sure you cash out all your snacks before you leave. That's just wasted money. If you don't buy a snack with it, then you've lost it. With the dining plan, the way it works is you're not limited, saying like, okay, well, Monday you have 2 of these and 2 of these. And if you don't use them, tough, you're SOL. They don't make you use the plans on the credits at any particular interval. You could theoretically, on your first day, go cash in all of your credits. You can go eat. If you're there for a week, you can go eat 7 table service meals, 7 quick service meals, and 14 snacks. You can go do that if you want. Of course, you won't have anything the rest of the week, and you'll probably be in a hospital from overeating. But so with us, when we're at Walt Disney World, we tend to have snacks left over at the end. So, like I said, we go to the cafeteria area at the hotel we're staying at, and we just cash out whatever snack credits we have left on, travel food or things to nibble on over the week or 2 after we left. Like my last Disney snack from my last trip was a Mickey Mouse Rice Krispie treat with the dipped ears and all that. And it was fantastic. The only downside was it was my last snack. So as I ate it, I was all depressed. I was like, this is the last of our trip. So, but again, we made the most of it. Make sure you get, the full value for your dining plan if you want it to be worth it. So in conclusion, it's really up to you and how your family or how your group, eats. If you guys are big eaters, then yeah, I think the dining plan is probably worth it, even if you have to pay for it full price. You're still going to save money at the end of the day. One thing to note is that the dining plan does not include tip. So remember that, you should be tipping based off of what the bill is, not whatever you feel like they deserve necessarily. It's still a restaurant. These people still have to eat. This is how they make their money. So, if you have a $400 bill, keep that in mind, tip appropriately, even if you're eating for free. It's not the server's fault that you did the dining plan, So, off my soapbox, tip how you please, but my recommendation would be to tip off what the actual bill was before you used your dining plan. So, but yeah, it doesn't include the tips, so keep that in mind. So, I personally think, yes, it's well worth it. Others do not. Feel free to chime in what you think, whether you think it's worth it or, whether you think it's just a big racket waste of money, And, I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and I will next week be bringing you an unboxing episode. I won't give you too many details about it, but it is a Halloween festive episode, so it'll be my first really cool unboxing I've had in a while. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to leave you as I leave you every week. Walt said it best. I hope we never lose sight of one thing. This was all started by a mouse. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.